was teaching a public speaking course to kids of age 12 to 18. It was my first such experience of teaching school kids and also teaching public speaking. As you can imagine, it can be quite challenging to teach today's kids because A, they know English, sometimes even better than you. B, they can speak up freely, they can challenge you with some questions, they can ask some, very uneasy questions. And obviously C, they can get bored very easily, so you need to interact and always engage them and be very funny and engaging all the time. Apart from these reasons, I also had some occasions when I screwed up. Once I showed them a clip from 1996, and I wanted to make a funny comment saying that this video is quite old, and I said, some of you might have born on that year in 1996. For which, with a puzzled look on their face, they replied no. Because only at that moment I realized that even the oldest kid in that room was born in 2000. And these are the true kids of 21st century. Well, and today I'd like to share these kind of interactions with these new century kids. And what kind of difference I saw in these interactions, in these kids. I signed up to be a teacher in the summer camp, and I expected that I'm going to spend 3 hours per day for 14 days. It was challenging, but it was doable. But apparently it wasn't the case. Do you know the term tiger moms or shark moms? But you might have not heard it, but you kind of can guess what kind of moms are these. I heard this term from Yujan, my husband, who is a teacher of FISMAT school. And they call these moms who are very eager to demand the very best for their kids and who are eager to know the performance of their kids at school and who usually make this appearance to schools. They call this kind of moms tiger moms. And in these 2 weeks, believe it or not, in these 2 weeks, in this summer camp, I have met 2 such moms. Let me tell you one of such stories. It was the second day of our class, and at the very beginning, before the class started, one of the moms, she entered the classroom, and she started to ask me questions about her kid's performance. Honestly, to be honest, I wasn't really sure who he was. because that was the second day, and I have met these 15 kids for my first time in my life for 3 hours, and I've spent 3 hours with them, and I wasn't really sure who she was talking about. But then I kind of guessed who that kid was. And she also, I didn't really expect her at all, like any parent to come to to check the performance, her kid's performance, because honestly, this is a summer camp. I'm not gonna grade this kid, I'm not gonna do anything, I don't know, like very challenging for this kid, but still she came. And then after all this, she asks me whether I think it was the right choice for him to send him to a public speaking course. Well, I didn't expect this question at all. I didn't know what to answer, but gladly at this point the class had to start and she left. But she wanted to come back. She didn't know. From this interaction you can tell that for better or for worse, but nowadays kids bathe in warm hands of support and constant attention of their parents. The second difference that I notice is that these kids can freely speak up. They can, and this is very good. I find that this to be very promising because they no longer see a teacher as a true and the only source of information, because honestly you have Dr. Wikipedia and Professor Google helping you to know more about the world. And in my course, I also showed them many effective presentations of speeches of speakers. Do you remember Vlad,
Yes.
the winner of the Central Asia contest? So I showed them this clip. I was very proud to show someone who is a member, a representative of Toastmasters International, and I wanted to show them that yes, in Kazakhstan we can speak English and we can give very good presentations. But they didn't like it.
Why?
Well, they also, yes, they had a good reason for why they didn't like it. They said that the speech was good, but it was too rehearsed. And they felt that it sounded, the speaker sounded insincere, because he kind of acted everything on the stage, and they didn't believe him. And that was also an opinion, and I think, and I really loved this discussion, because maybe they also kind of expected that I expected them to like the speech, but they didn't like the speech, and even they tried to challenge, to argue, and that was a good interaction. So after this course, we, Anara and I, Anara, she's another instructor, she's also from Toastmasters. We decided to have a contest between among all the students. We asked them to give to present a business idea and sell it to the judges. And we asked our Toastmaster, ATC, and MBA representatives to act as judges. The contest was a blast. I was really proud to see that all these kids, they performed very well. And honestly, I even envied them during all these 2 weeks, because first of all, they learned not only technical skills. For example, they learned what machine learning is, how to program, how to build a robot, how to build an app, but also they learned how to ride a horse, how to play tennis, and how to give good presentations. I envied them a lot, because at that age I couldn't do any of these things. Well, after the contest, one of the judges approached me and saying that he looked at these kids and said that I'm worried about my career future. Because he no longer sees them as just kids, but he sees them as equals, as a growing generation that is going to outpace us in every manner. Well, I hope that my stories didn't intimidate you, and you find these people and these kids to be very promising generation, and to ace in this world. And I love these kids, and I hope you love them too.